All right. In the meantime, Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo is calling for further investigation into the incident involving Comfort Emmanson. Keyamo criticized the indecent exposure of the passenger as totally unacceptable and said that the debasing of womanhood should not be tolerated. Well, he directed that those who recorded and released the video of the incident to the public should be identified and sanctioned. Keyamo asked airlines to continue to train their staff in public relations and how to defuse explosive situations. He pointed out that for aggrieved passengers, there are clearly laid down remedies to address grievances. The minister promised to apply equal sanctions available in aviation on erring passengers.
Well, to examine the growing tensions between airline staff and passengers at Nigerian airports, especially the implications for airport safety, airline accountability, and the regulatory environment, we are now joined by Air Commodore Ademola Onitiju, retired. He's the President, Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative. He joins us live from our studio in Lagos. Thank you, Air Commodore, for joining us on the news tonight. Let me begin by asking you what you make of the situation, particularly this incident started allegedly from the passenger refusing to switch off her phone. You are the expert here. How critical is that instruction we hear every time we board local flights? Because some of us don't hear such instructions on international flights. It's always on the local flights. Now it has resulted into this. How critical is that question or that instruction? Switch off your phone.
Yes, thank you. Safety is the most important thing concerning air travel. As our own name depicts, we are Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative. It's safety first and safety always. On the issue of the direction or the directive that you should switch off your phone, it's about your safety and the safety of others. Nothing should happen to an aircraft once it is airborne. There is no parking space up there. And anything that is capable of jeopardizing the safety of such flight is to be addressed and prevented. You see, cellular phones and other devices are capable of interfering with the aircraft communications and navigation systems. And that could be dangerous to flights. Also, during takeoff and landing,
please go ahead. We're listening to you.
Hello?
Go on, please, Mr. Onitiju. So, go ahead. Yes, please.
Good. If those devices are on, the waves and other elements that are on could affect the aircraft navigation and communication system, and it could jeopardize flights. Even during such time, it could even disrupt those towers you see that communication service providers use. So all those are to be prevented. And you do not for any reason risk the issue of compromising safety. So, and then the aircraft, by everybody inside of it, are subject to the directive of the aircraft commander. And all those on board, the cabin crew, are the ones to enforce such primary rules. And when they request that you should switch off your phone, you are to comply. If you do not want to comply with rules, you should not come on board. So that you don't jeopardize your own life and the lives of others.
Absolutely. Now, when the situations arise, like we've seen in the case of Comfort Emmanson, what is the training for airline crew, in handling this kind of, situations? What exactly is the protocol when a traveling public misbehaves?
Good. Well, when you do things that are unruly or you violate prescribed rules, depending on the airlines sometimes, although it's a universal rule, that you can deboard such unruly passenger so that he or she does not constitute a danger to himself or herself and other persons on board the aircraft. Furthermore, the aircrew are trained to a large extent before help comes from the aviation security personnel to deboard the unruly passenger. And if I were to look at what the Ibom aircrew did, I will give them a pass mark. Reason, the lady was being assaulted. She did not get angry. She maintained her calm. And that is what is expected of all cabin crew. You do not descend into the same unruly arena as this irate passenger. So the comportment was good, the handling was good. The only unprofessional aspect is I would have preferred a lady being handled by a lady in terms of the aviation security personnel. And if possible, since this lady has chosen to be violent, going by what we have seen in the video, she should be restrained. If it means getting her handcuffed, you do so that she will not further continue to be a danger to the aircraft, to the personnel, and to herself. Right. So other than that, I believe that the handling so far has been appropriate. And from what we pick from the news now, she has been charged, duly charged to court, and it was on the order of the court that she's been remanded in the prison.
Okay.
That is due process. Nigeria is a country of rules.
All right, Mr.
Rule of law.
Mr.
So it's a good example. Follow the process.
Great. So how do you then react to those who say this case has moved very fast, which you have described as due process? The passenger is already in correctional facility, unlike the case of the Fuji music legend Kwam, which happened some days ago. How do you respond to the perception of double standards, or do the rules apply differently in aviation? He was on the tarmac trying to prevent a plane from flying, and then she was, physical. Mr. Onitiju? It does look like we've lost connection.
Maybe you want to repeat the question again.
Mr. Onitiju, can you hear me? Oh, it's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can try and reconnect with the guest, the technical behind the scenes.
And that point raised as to whether, the laws apply differently. I mean, just see there, that footage where, oh my God, I mean, it's scary to look at that with Kwam 1, that incident with Value Jet, where he could have lost his life.
He literally escaped by whiskers.
He escaped by the whiskers.
Yes.
So now, is this telling of the temperament of the average Nigerian, especially in the times we live in now? Is it a reflection of the level of mental health, in Nigeria? We've heard that about 40% of the 230 or so million Nigerians have one mental issue or the other.
The WHO is not wrong.
Yes, in a way that, it's reflecting now, whether it's a big man, a celebrity, a musician, top person, or the ordinary, regular Nigerian. So something really needs to be done to evaluate, people's mental health. And then again, the issue of aviation safety, how strong, how stringent are the rules, to ensure that these things don't happen? In a couple of weeks, a number of weeks, we've seen this incident occur.
Yes, in putting this report together, I went beyond the shores of Nigeria to see what really applies, and it does seem like a common thread. And the scary part, Ngozi, is that from the statistics released by IATA, which is the International Aviation Agency, it does show that there's an increase in passenger infractions and unruly behavior by passengers. Now, the question is, why is this so? We're told that Mr. Onitiju can hear us. Mr. Onitiju,
can hear us now.
Okay, so let me reiterate my question. I was asking you, as the experts in the aviation sector, what do you say to those who are alleging double standard? In the case of the Ibom Air that happened, the passenger is already in the correctional facility. You have described it as due process. But we did see about last week, some days ago, a Fuji musician in Nigeria, popular one, a legend, you know, preventing an aircraft from taxiing and taking off, Kwam one. But he has since done an apology. No, but he wasn't taken to custody. How do you explain it? Yes. How do you explain the difference?
Well, it makes one a bit on the uncomfortable side. The rules should apply to everybody that violates the rule. It's as simple as that, whether male or female. Law is no respecter of status. The only exception in this case, or why I really cannot fathom why same was not done. You recall that I commended the steps taken, due process, in the case of the lady in question. She was promptly arraigned before a proper court of law, and a proper court of law remanded her. The only issue there that one might say might be holding them up in this case is a bit on the complex side. There was several unprofessional handling in that Wasiwa in this matter. How did he breach the security screening point going out with such flask? The maximum liquid allowed is 100 ml. And obviously that flask we are seeing should definitely be bigger than 100 ml. So on what basis? Were they overwhelmed by supposed celebrity status as to have allowed him to even get onto the tarmac? And then the interaction, the interlocution between him and the pilot in command, the lady, shouldn't have arisen at all. He should never have been allowed to get onto the tarmac. Okay, now he was on the tarmac. What we expect of the aviation security personnel was to have promptly whisked him off that place. If he resists, they handcuff him and take him away because he constitutes a danger to civil aviation. Right. And the rules are there in the Nigerian Civil Aviation Act of 2022. Many things, the gestures he displayed in that place was completely unruly and dangerous. One, he could be said to have held the entire aircraft hostage, and he was jeopardizing the lives of both crew and passengers at that material time. There was no reason or justification for that. But before he even went into the front of the aircraft, the aviation security personnel ought to have whisked him off that place. And on the part of the pilot, yes, he ought to have remained calm. Unlike what we saw with the lady with the Ibom Air, I would have expected, and by her professional training, she would have gotten the all-clear sign before getting into motion. Right. And, well, it wouldn't be an excuse. She deals with the public, and it is expected that she will maintain a calm in spite of such provocation, such as the alleged pouring of the content of the flask on her person. So, all in all, right, there is no room for exception. There is no room for discrimination.
Okay, very quickly before we let you go,
Mr. Onitiju, equally.
Okay, I've been told this we will have to leave it there. But very quickly, I mean, is it safe for us to say that these infractions are very frequent in Nigeria's aviation sector? And would you say that the life ban on this lady, Miss Emmanson, is in order by Ibom Air? Or is it too stringent?
Well, you see, in international law and in the rules concerning aviation, pertaining to commercial aviation and then the various airlines, they have their own prescribed rules. They can say they do not want you because you constituted a danger to the aircraft once. They do not want you to fly with them anymore. It's a contract, you know, and you accepted the contract on the basis of the terms. And if you violate it, they can decide that they do not want you on board the aircraft. There are other choices which you can make. So I think that's the much I want to say in that regard. Whether they now say it is life or whatever, you have a choice. Go to other airlines, you get away from their own airline, from their own aircraft.
All right, we'll have to leave it there.
It's not a judicial law. It's like, look, we do not want you in our company. Don't bank with us again. You are of criminal
but
tendencies.
It's the NCAA that has actually banned her.
Exactly.
It's the NCAA that has banned her.
Does that make a difference?
Domestically and internationally. It's the NCAA.
Well, that is reviewable. Ban for life,
Okay.
I'm not aware of it being in the rules.
Okay.
Right.
But as far as the NCAA is concerned and the Honorable Minister's pronouncement, I think they are just perfectly in order.
Right.
We need to deter people. It is dangerous. You don't place the lives of other persons in danger. It's about safety.
Okay.
So
very
far,
good. Thank you
so
very
good.
much. We'll have
And you
to leave
know,
it
the
there.
Aviation Safety Roundtable,
Yes. Thank you so much. We'll have to leave it there.
we are having the 100 years of aviation in
yes.
Nigeria. And part of what we are looking at is pains, gains, and the prospects.
Great.
And we are
Absolutely.
collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development in that regard.
Okay, thank you very much. Air Commodore Ademola Onitiju is retired, President Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative. Thank you very much for joining us on News 9.